Losing to the Green Bay Packers did not shock me as far as the Houston Texans are concerned. They're hosting the Ravens this week, laying 6.5, total 48.5. Marco has a free pick on this game. The loss didn't shock me, guys, but that offense, that was alarming. They were horrible against Green Bay. 321 yards on 69 plays. That comes out to 4.65 yards per play. And Marco, that's 2 weeks in a row now that Schaub's been ineffective, to put it nicely. He's a combined 34 for 61 the last 2 weeks, a touchdown, 3 picks. He's been sacked 3 times. He's been harassed a lot more.
Well, definitely a horrible offensive performance, but I was a little bit more shocked at the, defensively, that Green Bay went up and down the field on them the way they did. I mean, this Houston team has a good, good defense, and they've held everybody in check this year except the Denver game, where Denver was so far behind, and Manning did what he does best, like he did Monday night. I know you liked the second half of that game, Brian.
I was half right.
Well, I was half wrong. But this is a situation this week. The big story in this game is the Baltimore defense. Now, they lose Ray Lewis. The defense, I've talked about this defense from week 1, and everybody, was all happy about this Baltimore hurry-up offense and, what this team was going to do this year, put up more points. And with that Baltimore defense, they're going to be tough to beat. The Baltimore defense is old. They're one of the older defenses in the league. And I said it in week 1. I think it's a mistake doing this hurry-up offense, because you're putting your defense, you've got more offensive plays, but you're also putting your defense on the field for more plays too. And consequently, they were wearing out. Now, they're thin on defense. You lose your leader. I mean, I know Ray Lewis may have lost a step, we all talk about it, but he's still the field general. It's just like for the Steelers when Troy's
he's a cheerleader in shoulder pads.
When Troy's on the field, the Steeler defense is always better than when he's not. And they're going to have a problem right now.
Not just Lewis, by the way. It's Webb. Webb's gone also. They lost him, but I think he's more important than Ray Lewis right now. And again, I understand totally what you're saying about Ray Lewis, but for me, he has become a cheerleader the last couple of years. But he is that focal point that they all rally around on the defensive side of the football. They are getting younger, by the way. The more these old guys fall down to injury, they're getting a little bit younger. But I completely agree with your analysis. And we talked about this. I think you talked about it in August, saying on a radio show, saying that as we get closer to the regular season with this new look offense they're going to have, they're really causing problems for the defensive side of the football. But Brian, all of a sudden the offense stinks on ice. I mean, look at Flacco last week against Dallas. What a misleading final score. They win 31-29. They don't cover. They fall a little bit short of the cover. They were completely outplayed in that game, statistically speaking, 300 and some odd yards to about 480 or whatever it was for the Dallas Cowboys. Flacco, how about 13 for 27, no touchdown passes, 4 sacks in that game. They didn't do anything against Kansas City, and Kansas City gave them the ball over and over and over with their turnovers. So all of a sudden we've got this so-called up-tempo offense that looks like crap. I mean, let's just call it like it is.
Yeah, Baltimore's been a team right now that you really don't know what to take out of them. Harbaugh, although as a road dog, he's 11-6-1 against the spread, and the line keeps going up. If it hits 7, I mean, there's only one way I could look in that game. And you started off this entire discussion talking about it did not surprise you that Green Bay beat Houston last week. You needed to be a little bit more emphatic, because I really liked Houston in that game. Sorry. And I'm sitting there going, wait a minute, did he say this last week? I must not have been
Well, if you
attention.
take the dog and it's, 5, 6, 7 points, 4 points, whatever, then you're not shocked if that dog wins out.
Gotcha.
That's basically what I was saying. But as far as Houston's concerned, I mean, Marco, if they're going to get back on track, you got to get back to the running game, because that's what they weren't able to do against Green Bay. They fell behind early. Foster had a horrible game. I know they said he missed practice, I think on Tuesday or Wednesday of this week, but it was a non-injury issue. So he's expected to go, but he couldn't get it going on the ground. So I think what you do, it's very basic. They start running the football from the get-go in this one. They get Foster and the running game back on track. At the same time, if Baltimore is going to stay in this game, you got to get Ray Rice carries and plenty of touches early in this game to keep Houston a little bit back on their heels defensively. Otherwise, they try to tee off in an angry situation against Flacco. I think that keeps that clock running. Final word on this. You mentioned how the defense was so poor against Green Bay. I'm wondering, and we're going to see this week, how much that had to do with the linebacker Brian Cushing being knocked out the previous Monday night against the New York Jets. If you saw my write-up, the people who got that game for me, Green Bay, Houston, that was a situation where I thought Green Bay had the quarterback, the offense, and the play calling to take advantage of those intermediate routes, crossing routes that Cushing coaching used to be able to come up to the line of scrimmage and then drop back and cover, and he wasn't there for it. We'll see if the Ravens can take advantage. But again, Marco, here I am taking up all this time. It's your free pick, and Ravens, Texans.
You sure you don't want to do it?
I tell you, I think we're leaning the same way. Oh, by the way, I did want to mention that if Baltimore does try to pass the ball too much, and the reason I think Ray Rice gets more carries, there's a guy by the name of J.J. Watt who's looking to have a pretty big game this week.
Ready for me to, is this the official give the pick now, or?
Go ahead, what the heck?
I gave it for you, I believe.
Well, I've talked all about how bad the defense has been, and I'm going to do a complete turnaround. So here we go. My free pick in this one, I am looking at the under. Yes, we've talked about how bad the defense is on both teams the last 2 weeks, but Baltimore, they've got to protect this defense now. I think, like you said, they got to run the ball here, shorten the game, protect the defense. Look for this game to go under the total. Why? One, everybody knows Ray Lewis is out. What happened? The total shot up. The public's thinking, oh, they're having high-scoring games with them in there. Now that you've got Webb out and Lewis out, it's going to be a high-scoring game. No, it's over-adjusted, and you're going to see a different play calling from the coaching to protect that defense some more. I like the under in this game. It's all about overreaction to the market, and you're going to see an overreaction here. I project this at 42, 43 points total for the game. I'm taking the under on it.
And if you couldn't tell, I'm with you. I think you're going to see both teams trying to run the football first. So Marco's free pick is the under between the Ravens and Texas, under the total of 48.5. We've got plenty of action coming in both pro football and college football all weekend long right here at pregame.tv.